People are very polarized in all kind of ways. People are afraid to speak out.
He was larger than life, but at first I didn't like him at all. You know, I didn't. I thought he was like, you know.
Jennifer Lopez has long been admired as an untouchable force in the entertainment world, but recent whispers suggest her past may be catching up to her as Diddy Holmes faces shocking allegations including blackmail and sex trafficking rumors swirl that J-Lo's connection to him could pull her into. The chaos disturbing reports claim that Ben Affleck's sudden divorce from Lopez was fueled by access to scandalous tapes from Diddy's infamous parties, where Lopez allegedly played a central role. Ice Cube, her former Anaconda co-star, has even urged her to run, warning that anyone tied to Diddy could find themselves in serious trouble. Is J-Lo's empire on the verge of collapse? The truth may be closer than anyone anticipated. Watch this video to catch all the details, but before we dive into the story, we need to explore the circumstances that drew Lopez into Diddy's scandalous life. Lopez began her music career as a backup dancer for Janet Jackson, and by appearing in music videos in 1995, she made her film debut in My Family, but it was her portrayal of Tejano singer Selena in the 1997 biopic Selena that truly launched her into stardom. Her performance earned critical acclaim and made her the first Latina actress to earn $1 million for a film role. By the late 1990s, Lopez had become a rising star in both acting and music. She released her debut album on the 6th in June 1999, showcasing her Latin pop roots and cementing her status as a multifaceted entertainer. It was during this period that Lopez entered a highly publicized relationship with Diddy Combs, making headlines as one of pop culture's most talked about couples in this era. Diddy was at a significant peak in his career, marked by both commercial success and widespread recognition. He had become a cultural icon in music and fashion, successfully expanding his brand with ventures like the Shahjahan clothing line. While maintaining a strong presence in the entertainment industry, Diddy was seen as the epitome of success. In the entertainment industry, as a rapper, producer, and entrepreneur, he built a reputation that blended commercial success with street credibility, making him a cultural icon. For many young men who dreamed of making it in music, looked up to him as a role model, seeing his rise from humble beginnings to one of the most influential figures in hip-hop as the ultimate blueprint for success. His empire, which included music, fashion, and media ventures, painted a picture of a hardworking, talented mogul who had mastered the game. However, Diddy was concealing a dark side he never wanted the world to see. For years, he successfully masked his true nature behind a facade of wealth, influence, and manipulation, yet over time he left behind traces of who he really was, and now those clues are resurfacing to haunt him. One such moment occurred during an appearance on Conan O'Brien, where Diddy's comments in hindsight are quite chilling. On the show, Diddy remarked that at parties many women drink only water and implied that if you don't have what they want, they'll leave. He then added disturbingly, "T. Hat, you need locks on the doors." Even O'Brien seemed uncomfortable, responding, "Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous." Diddy brushed it off, suggesting it was a little kinky, but then explained further. He advised that having no air conditioning at parties is key, because heat makes people more comfortable, loosening them up and encouraging a nice little sweat. Looking back, it's clear that Diddy's words hinted at a much darker mentality. Fast forward 22 years, and it seems Diddy may not have been joking. After all these days, he's waking up to a 6 a.m. breakfast consisting of cereal, fruit, and a sad little cake in the same prison where Ghislaine Maxwell, former socialite and convicted sex offender, was once held. Diddy is now known as prisoner number 3745 to D54. The days of private jets, VIP sections, and those notorious twisted drug-fueled sex parties are long gone. Prosecutors allege that during those wild gatherings, Diddy lured drugged-out victims, both male and female sex workers, for days of dark, illicit activities unfit for public discussion. Authorities claim he ran a vast, disturbing empire of sex trafficking, blackmail, and violence, all while concealing it behind his billion-dual empire of music, fashion, and vodka brands. But there's one major figure we can't ignore. Jennifer Lopez. J-Lo dated Diddy from 1999 to 2001, and now their once highly publicized relationship is raising some unsettling questions about what was really going on behind the scenes. While Diddy starts his mornings with prison-grade Cheerios, J.Lo might be reflecting on whether she narrowly dodged a bullet or if one from her past is about to resurface. Diddy's recent indictment lists serious allegations dating back to 2008, but the drama stretches even further back. Let's rewind to December 2nd, 7th, 1999, when Diddy and Jennifer Lopez found themselves caught in the middle of a nightclub shooting in 1999. Shay Combs and Jennifer Lopez were dominating the scene as the hottest power couple. One December night, they were out at Club New York in Manhattan enjoying the nightlife with Diddy's entourage, but as they were leaving, Diddy had a run-in with a man known as Scar. It didn't take long for things to escalate. Scar shoved Diddy, and Diddy pushed him back, and within moments shots rang out in the club. Chaos ensued and 3 people were hit, including a woman named Natan Rubin, who was just standing by when a stray bullet struck her in the face. Until now, Natana Rubin swears she saw Diddy pull the trigger himself. Miraculously, she survived, but some of the bullet fragments are still lodged in her face. To this day, meanwhile in the chaos, Jennifer Lopez, Diddy, his 21-year-old protege Shine Barrow, and a bodyguard quickly got away. They jumped into their car, blew through a red light, but their escape came to a screeching halt. Cops pulled them over and found a loaded gun sitting inside the car, which promptly landed everyone in handcuffs and hauled off to the station. Jennifer, cuffed to a pole for 14 hours, had her mom come down to collect her, furious and yelling in Spanish, "I told you not to get involved with that guy." Giallo eventually walked away without charges, but for Diddy, his bodyguard, and Shine, things took a turn for the worse. They all faced serious legal trouble as the dust settled during the trial. Everyone pointed fingers, creating a media frenzy. Diddy found himself in the hot seat, with his entire empire at risk. While the world watched closely, when the dust finally settled, Diddy walked free, acquitted of all charges. His bodyguard was also cleared, but Shine, he took the fall for everything, receiving a 10-year sentence. He ended up serving 8 years before being deported to Biz, where he eventually became a politician. For years, Shine stayed silent about that fateful night, but now, with Diddy facing serious charges, he has begun speaking out. According to Shine, Diddy didn't just abandon him, he actively turned against him. Shine claimed Diddy called witnesses to testify against him, ensuring he would end up behind bars. And one of those witnesses was none other than Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo, who was reportedly head over heels for Diddy at the time, was rumored to be deeply loyal to him. Now, there are questions about whether she told the whole truth during the trial, or if her loyalty clouded her judgment. What once seemed like speculation may not have been just rumors after all. In a 2024 bombshell lawsuit filed by music producer Rodney Jones, the accusations against Diddy took a darker turn. Rodney alleged that Diddy wasn't just running a wild party scene, he claimed it was a full-on coercion operation. According to Rodney, he was brought on to produce tracks for an album, but instead found himself allegedly forced to hire sex workers and even being physically manhandled by Diddy, Cuba Gooding Jr., and others. The situation, as described in the lawsuit, was filled with shady encounters, but the claims didn't stop there. Rodney alleged that Diddy had bragged about controlling the narrative of that infamous 1999 nightclub shooting, hinting that Jennifer Lopez played a much bigger role than previously known. According to the lawsuit, J-Lo allegedly brought a gun into the club and handed it to Diddy when the fight broke out. Rumors continued to swirl, suggesting that even after her highly publicized breakup with Diddy in 2001, J-Lo may have stayed involved in his notorious work world, attending some of his infamous freak-off parties. And the lawsuit added another disturbing layer. Rodney claimed that Diddy had hidden cameras at these appease events, collecting compromising footage of Hollywood elites, echoing the infamous tactics used by Jeffrey Epstein. This begs the question, could J-Lo have played a bigger role in Diddy's criminal activities, including the infamous freak-offs? Before getting into that, let's break down the notorious freak-offs that have come up in these allegations. It is alleged that Diddy's freak-offs were the wildest parties imaginable. The activities at these parties were so horrific that one of Diddy's artists, Maze, had to cut ties with him. He even decided to leave his music publishing rights with Diddy, turned to religion, and became a pastor. The massive drug-fueled events allegedly involved both female and male sex workers who interacted with Diddy's guests, celebrities, politicians, girlfriends, and dates alike. Anyone in the room was compelled to become part of the spectacle. Diddy allegedly directed everything, with his staff following orders to book hotel rooms, spike drinks, procure drugs, and even set up lighting and cameras after these festivities. The same staff was reportedly tasked with cleaning up, but the disturbing details didn't end there. These parties reportedly went on for days. One former private chef even filed a lawsuit claiming she had to serve food to Diddy and his guests right in the middle of these multi-day sex marathons. When it was all over, attendees reportedly received IV drips to recover. The person who blew the lid off this entire situation was Cassie Ventura, Diddy's former longtime girlfriend. An alleged victim, Cassie, met Diddy in 2005 when she was a 19-year-old rising R&B singer with dreams of stardom, while Diddy, at 37, was a music mogul at the height of his power. Signing with his label Bad Boy Records appeared to be her ticket to success. However, what seemed like a fairy tale quickly turned into a nightmare. According to Cassie, Diddy didn't just control her career, he allegedly dominated her entire life. Within a few short years, she found herself trapped in a toxic cycle of manipulation and abuse. His temper was explosive, and the beatings were reportedly brutal, occurring so frequently that it was impossible to ignore. Unfortunately, the staff who relied on Diddy for their paychecks did little to intervene or help her escape this dangerous situation. The staff around Diddy likely felt intimidated and afraid of him, and it wasn't just the physical abuse that kept Cassie under his control. Allegedly, Diddy got her hooked on pills, and whenever she attempted to pull away, his loyal crew would spring into action, monitoring her every move. They would pressure her with warnings like, "You better call him back or your album won't be released." This manipulation ensured she remained exactly where he wanted her. One particularly disturbing detail from her lawsuit revealed the extent of Diddy's psychological control early in their relationship. He asked Cassie what she called her grandfather. When she replied that she called him Pop, Diddy insisted that she use the same nickname for him. He wanted her to call him by her grandfather's name. This behavior wasn't just controlling, it was a form of psychological domination, offering a chilling glimpse into the bizarre and disturbing environment Diddy allegedly created behind closed doors when Cassie opened the floodgates with her allegations about Diddy, especially concerning those wild parties. The conversations echoed throughout Hollywood. It is alleged that those who were actively aware of and involved with Diddy began asking whether he had everything under control or if there was cause for alarm. After Cassie filed her lawsuit in November 2023, she and Diddy settled just one day later. While that seemed swift, it wasn't quick enough to prevent a wave of alleged victims from emerging, sharing stories that spanned decades. Diddy responded with a firm denial on Instagram, but many have been telling similar stories for years. One notable figure is Jonathan AI, a former adult movie actor who was arrested for allegedly shooting up a Donald Trump hotel in Florida. At the time, the police dismissed his claims as a wild tale. He claimed he had sexual encounters with Cassie and said Sean would tell me what to do with Cassie. According to him, he had about 15 encounters and felt like a sex slave in the process. For years, people thought Jonathan was making it all up, but now, with numerous allegations and lawsuits stacking up against Diddy, even the feds started raising eyebrows. These developments in March 2024, Homeland Security descended on Diddy's properties in Miami and Los Angeles. The operation included a SWAT team, indicating that Diddy had allegedly become a high-value target. They came fully equipped with battering rams, tactical gear, and a serious presence. What they uncovered was a bizarre treasure trove of over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube, video evidence of those notorious freak-offs, along with a stash of drugs and weapons. Despite the dramatic movie-like raid, nothing happened to him. He continued living his lavish lifestyle. However, the past had a way of catching up with him. By May 2024, just 5 months after Cassie filed her explosive lawsuit, everything took a dark turn. A brutal video leaked to CNN, corroborating one of the disturbing scenarios Cassie had described in the footage. Diddy can be seen sprinting down a hotel hallway in nothing but a towel, chasing Cassie. As she stood by the elevators, he grabs her and drags her down the hall back to their room, where it appears one of those infamous freak-offs was in progress. This was footage that was never meant to see the light of day. Diddy reportedly paid $50,000 to keep that damning video under wraps. But now that it's out in the open, it's clear why so many have accused him of serious misconduct. He wasn't just hosting wild parties. Based on the hotel footage, he appeared to be a violent predator, allegedly paying off and blackmailing everyone around him to keep his dirty secrets hidden. With all eyes on him, Diddy made one final attempt to manage the fallout. After the video surfaced, he shifted from outright denial to releasing an apology video. In it, he stated, "My behavior in that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions. I was disgusted then, and I'm now." In June, he wiped his Instagram account clean, seemingly trying to distance himself from the escalating drama. But the situation only grew more outrageous. On September 16th, federal agents arrested the 54-year-old billionaire at his New York hotel. And the charges against him were astonishing. They included sex trafficking, blackmail, violent assaults, arson, kidnapping, forced labor, transporting people for prostitution, and drug dealing. To top it off, he faced a RICO charge similar to those leveled against mob bosses. This charge indicated that anyone even remotely involved in his alleged criminal activities, whether cleaning up after a freak-off, procuring drugs, booking sex workers, or transporting individuals across state lines, could now be implicated in his criminal enterprise. Meanwhile, a guilty verdict could completely dismantle Diddy's empire and one of the most significant figures in the industry. The pressing question now is who else might get pulled down alongside him if the allegations hold weight. And did he truly have cameras capturing powerful individuals engaging in illegal activities? It raises the critical question of what kind of dirt he possesses. Jennifer Lopez has been one of the individuals consistently at the center of this narrative. Was she just another victim caught in Diddy's web? Much like Cassie, Cassie has alleged that Diddy would make her hold his gun for no reason other than to exert control and instill fear. If the rumors about J.Lo are accurate, suggesting she might have been involved in questionable situations such as bringing a weapon into the nightclub, then it raises the possibility that Diddy could have used similar intimidation tactics on her in the past. Was this a form of psychological manipulation? What's evident is that Diddy's empire seemed to thrive on fear, intimidation, and manipulation. In her 2024 documentary, The Greatest Love Story, Never Told, J.Lo opened up about a past abusive relationship without naming names, leading fans to speculate about her connection to Diddy. Given the current revelations, many are making connections and wondering what Diddy might hold over her. Enter Suge Knight, former head of Death Row Records, who is currently serving time in prison, Suge has found his own way to communicate from behind bars, even calling TV stations to share his thoughts on Diddy's situation. He has been weighing in on the Diddy drama, claiming that Diddy possesses blackmail material on Jennifer Lopez. According to Suge, this could be the real reason behind her and Ben Affleck's breakup this past summer. Many believe the fear of Diddy's blackmail being exposed may have been what finally ended Jennifer's marriage. It's a conspiracy theory,